What actually gives crypto its value? Why are people willing to pay real money for something digital?
Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was Ripple, the company Ripple's chief legal officer, Stu Alddero. Yeah, about to answer that question, and you're going to hear what his answer is. Yeah, he's doing regular education videos on the National Cryptocurrency Association channel, where he is the president. It's a bit sad to see that their video views have not yet caught on. Yes, 22 views, 65, 55, 16, 7 in the last month. It's a lot of work to do those videos, I'll tell you. So I hope that they do get some traction. It might be just some insight to what people are really caring about. And as a person who loves stats and dives in regularly to what interests people, it leaves me with a lot of thinking. For the last 8 years, I've been covering the facts and news that hopefully leaves you with some of that same deeper critical thinking. Like, for example, last year when I asked VanEck's Matthew Siegel to never underestimate a community as it wields significant power to shape customer demand. And that played out as we saw with the Canary XRP ETF, as it posted the highest day, the 1 day trading volume out of 900 plus ETFs that launched this year. Just really mind-blowing, and with all the inflows. And he asks once again, who could have seen this coming? Well, I think a lot of people in this community of XRP, the army, we saw it coming. And today, Matthew doubled down. He said, dear XRP maxis, he may never understand what the blockchain actually does, but I'll always respect the passion required to pretend it does something. So keep hustling. I'm kind of lost for words, because even though I'm not an XRP maxi, I think getting paid as head of VanEck's research is, well, a yikes. You have to say those Ivy League degrees should come with some revocable performance clauses. I mean, how can a guy, head of research, actually continue to take this kind of stance? And with a person who is actually building on the XRPL technology, he can understand this view. So he says, don't attack people, try to understand his point of view. Well, I take that point, I do. But I have to tell you that he's out of touch. So probably he needs to dedicate more time to his research. And there are hardly any shortcuts to that, especially when it comes to understanding the power of community. That shaping a speculative narrative is really what a community does. And his profession is all about speculation at the end of the day. And maybe the big lesson is that the CEO of Canary Capital, who issued that ETF, his name is Stephen McClurg, he demonstrated that you can believe in the power of the demand of the digital asset. And he also is a partner in the Bitcoin Clutch Mining Company, where their motto is Bitcoin is the answer, not the problem. And I have to say that I like that kind of crypto maxi. And here's a big learning for me today. There's a little fact about in-kind ETF orders. And this is the CEO of Canary Capital. And he makes it clear that the ETF that we just saw, yes, was number one in trade volume. But what is really impressive is that a large amount of the orders were in XRP, and that doesn't count towards trade volume. So the volume itself is even more impressive. I want to thank Nate Garachi for the podcast.
And with all three of these spot ETFs that you've brought to market, all offer in-kind creations and redemptions, correct?
They do.
And talk more about that and just the structure of these products overall, just at a high level.
Yeah, so it's great that we can process in kind now. When Bitcoin Spot first launched, the SEC stopped in kind from happening, and in kind creates and redeems is really where the tax benefits come in. So what's the reason why it's really important in crypto is that there's a lot of people that actually hold tokens on their ledger or some other place that they necessarily don't want all of their tokens there, right? So think about Mt. Gox when it went down, or think about ledgers that have broken in the past. People want to probably diversify their holdings, and hold it in an ETF is probably one of the safest ways to do that, as opposed to exchanges or ledgers. And what we've seen as far as inflows coming in, about 85% of our inflows in HBAR has actually been in kind. And we're also seeing a large amount of orders this morning for in-kind and XRP as well. One of the things that when in-kind orders come in, you don't see it in trade volume. So trade volume is a little bit tricky. It doesn't necessarily translate one-to-one on AUM or inflows. It's just what's being transacted throughout the day. But when you have people moving their coins from a wallet or a ledger into an ETF, that trade volume doesn't occur because it is in kind.
One more short clip before we hear Stu Alddero answer that question about the price of tokens. Yeah, this is a bold step taken by OKX. This is Roshan Robert, the CEO of OKX, where he is going to do something that I think could set a trend. Now, it won't satisfy the purist of decentralized finance or DeFi, but truly the value lies in fostering broad exposure and what I hope is adoption. Have a listen.
The new product is called CDFI. What we're doing is we're essentially providing a window into the world of decentralized finance for all of our centralized exchange customers. And this is our way of actually bridging CeFi and DeFi using one single app, but making sure that all the controls and security, etc., are still in place. It is a way in which centralized exchange customers who come in through proper KYC into the centralized exchange not only have access to all of the products and services that exist in the centralized exchange, but with the way in which we've constructed the app, they can actually sort of really go into a self-custodial wallet, and through the self-custodial wallet, access all of the products and services in the DeFi ecosystem as well, especially on Solana and Base.
And then I just can't help share a little bit of quirky news because this space is, I don't know, leaves me scratching my head often. It was in May that we heard Hyperscale Data was going to take a DAT strategy. That would be a digital asset treasury strategy with XRP. And then August, they had a press release that announced a year-to-date purchase of the digital asset, 23,000 of them. And their average price was at $3.09. And then an hour ago, they sent out a don't worry letter to their shareholders. They are doubling down on Bitcoin. So I don't know. Like I said, this space is sometimes very quirky and very peculiar. Let's hear that answer from Stu Alddero. And until next time, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
What actually gives crypto its value? Why are people willing to pay real money for something digital?
A token's price, it's set by supply and demand. It's worth whatever someone's willing to sell it at and what someone's willing to buy it at that moment. And that's true for basically any other asset. So some people may value a particular crypto because it has a limited supply. For example, there'll never be more than 21 million Bitcoin, and people like that. And they think that scarcity creates value. Or some people may value certain cryptocurrency because of the technology built into it, like something called smart contract that's built on top of the Ethereum blockchain. Or some people may like the real world use cases of certain crypto, like XRPs designed especially for instant transactions and payments. So different people are attracted to different crypto tokens or crypto blockchains for different reasons, and they value them differently. But at the end of the day, what something is worth is simply what somebody is willing to sell it at and somebody's willing to buy it at, and they agree on that price on any given moment of any given day.